Did you know there's a part of your vision that you literally can't see, even though it's right in front of you? Let me show you. You can start by lining yourself up so that your face is in alignment with the line in the middle of the screen. Close your left eye and focus your right eye on the left circle. And slowly move your head toward the screen. And at some point, the triangle on the right will disappear. That's your blind spot. You're not imagining it. Your brain is filling in the gap. It's smoothing over what's missing. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And here's the twist. Your mind does the exact same thing. We all have mental and emotional blind spots, things that we don't see clearly about ourselves. We have patterns, assumptions, behaviors, fears, and just like that disappearing triangle, we don't even know what we're missing. Hi, my name is John Ryan. I'm a master trainer and coach, and I've had the privilege over the last nearly 3 decades to work with top performers in a variety of fields, from professional athletes to high-level CEOs. And one of the things that they all have in common is blind spots. In fact, we all have them. And in life, our blind spots can kind of act like black holes. We can't always see them even if we're staring directly at them. But you know they're there because of how they impact everything around them. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 strategies to help you identify the black holes and blind spots in our lives. Let's get started. And the first tip for identifying your blind spots is to be on the lookout for repeated problems. If the same challenge keeps showing up in different areas of your life, it's not random, it's a signal. To help with this, you might consider the following questions. Do you keep ending up in the same argument just with different people? Or do your goals stall out around the same stage no matter what you try? Or do you keep attracting the same kind of clients, partners, or setbacks in your life? To paraphrase Jeff Foxworthy, if so, then you might have some blind spots. We need to step back for a moment and ask ourselves, what's the common denominator in these patterns? What beliefs, what behaviors or fears might be showing up again and again? And what am I pretending not to know that's causing this problem? Because our blind spots will show up time and time again until we identify it and then do something about it. The second thing to look out for is emotional overreaction. So when something happens and our emotional response is disproportionate to the event, there might be something deeper going on that's a blind spot. So be on the lookout for times when you feel unreasonably angry, deeply hurt, or shut down really fast in situations that don't seem that serious. You can also look for feedback from other people when they're surprised by how strong your emotional response is to a specific situation. And to dig a little deeper to begin to find that blind spot, ask yourself, what does this situation remind me of? Or what's the fear or story underneath this feeling? Or what part of me is trying to protect me right now? Overreactions are an indication that something hasn't healed yet. It's a signal of a past wound, a belief, or an unprocessed truth, a blind spot that's trying to protect you. And the third strategy for identifying your blind spots is 360-degree feedback. There's a phrase you may have heard of before, which is you can't read the label from inside the jar. So sometimes you need someone who's on the outside to give you feedback, to reflect back to you like a mirror what you can't see yourself. And here's a clue. When you're getting that feedback from other people, if you ever get feedback that feels off or particularly hard to swallow, but it keeps showing up from different people, that's a clue that it might be a blind spot. Or if you find yourself jumping in and justifying your behavior, saying things like, well, that's not what I meant, or they just don't understand me, and you end up blaming other people, that's also probably a blind spot. And the other thing to look out for is if you're avoiding feedback altogether. If you just want to stay in your own little bubble, yeah, there might be some things you got to look at. So ask yourself these types of questions. What might others see that I don't? What's the feedback that I keep hearing but really haven't accepted yet? And keep in mind, if multiple people say it, it might be something worth looking at, because blind spots often live in your impact, not your intention. And external feedback helps you to bridge the gap between the two. And the fourth strategy to help you identify your blind spots is something I created called the blind spot inventory. It's something that I use in my life and also use with my clients to help them identify the blind spots they have in different areas of their life. And if you want a copy of the exact tool that I use for myself and my clients, I'll put a link down in the description. So once you download the blind spot inventory, set aside some time, maybe 20, 30 minutes, and it's going to guide you to go through different areas of your life and asking you questions so you can pay attention to and give focus to things that you might not pay attention to otherwise. Here are some of the core questions we ask inside of the blind spot inventory. The first one is, what's going well in this area that I need to acknowledge? We want to uncover overlooked wins, progress, or strengths that we may not be paying attention to. So blind spots don't always have to be negative. Sometimes we're blind to the things that we really should be paying attention to and having gratitude for. The second question is, what am I not paying attention to in this area that I should? In this one, we're trying to look for the missed opportunities, the hidden gaps, the things that bring up discomfort or signals that we're not really paying attention to. And once we've identified what it is that we're not paying attention to that we really should, let's connect to what that impact is, the blind spot for the future, about what will it mean if I continue to ignore this. So for number 3, what will be the cost if I continue to ignore this aspect of my life? And we're going to bring awareness to the long-term impact of inaction. And now that we connect to that motivation on what it will cost us in the future, we can bring in some action. So what is one action I can take to address this blind spot? We want to turn our awareness into momentum with a small intentional step. And in addition to the blind spot inventory and the other tips we talked about so far in this video, if you really want to kick it up a notch, we want to look at number 5, which is breakthrough coaching. And I want to start by identifying the difference between a coach and a breakthrough coach. Now, coaching, as we previously identified on this channel, is improving and accelerating results. That's really the whole point of coaching. And all coaching is really done by focusing on one or more of 3 areas of time: the past, the present, and the future. And coaching focuses primarily on the present and the future, which is great. Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And what actions can you take to get from where you are to where you want to be? And here's the challenge. What if you or your clients are taking action, but they keep hitting the same roadblocks? What if I'm trying to level up, but I'm carrying all of my baggage from the past? My limiting beliefs, my limiting emotions, and limiting behaviors. That's where the breakthrough coaching comes in. Now, a breakthrough coach will focus on the present and the future too, but only after they've systematically helped their clients release all of the baggage from the past. And that's typically how breakthrough coaching begins. You start by identifying the blind spots, the programming, and all the mental and emotional baggage we've collected over the years and decades, really, through what's called a detailed personal history. Then we systematically go through and release all of the identified baggage and blind spots using advanced release techniques. So once we're clear on the past and we're not limited by all of that stuff, then we can focus on the present and the future. And what you'll find is the path to your goals is so much easier because you're not carrying all of that mental, emotional stuff around with you. And what's great about working with a breakthrough coach in the context of blind spots is that it's not just about identifying them, it's about doing something about them so they no longer hold you back. And if you haven't gone through a breakthrough session or breakthrough coaching before, it's a must if you're serious about getting results in your life. Now, that doesn't have to be with me, of course, but I would recommend whoever you work with, make sure they have the experience and the skill set to guide you through the process. There's really too much at stake here otherwise. And if you do decide that you'd like to find out more about breakthrough coaching, I'll put a link to my calendar down in the description. We can hop on a call and find the right path for you. So those are the 5 strategies to help you spot your blind spots. And once you identify your blind spots, the next thing will be making sure that you're not sabotaging yourself on the path. For more on that, check out the video on screen. Until next time, develop yourself, empower others, and lead by example.